are very excited now to bring you Mamadou Toure, who is the founder of the Africa 2.0 Foundation. Nous sommes très heureux de vous présenter Mamadou Toure. Mamadou Toure, en addition d'être le fondeur du Africa 2.0 Foundation, est aussi le fondeur du Ubuntu Capital, aka Ubuntu, le groupe Ubuntu. Mamadou Toure has shown leadership in bringing entrepreneurial and visionary young Africans together and has established operations in 35 countries across Africa. Mamadou Toure was named one of the most powerful people in Africa by Forbes in 2014. Alors, maintenant, Mamadou Toure.
What if you could finally make real investments, build solid savings backed by gold from as low as 5 cents with the comfort of your mobile phone? What if you could build more income, trade, exchange goods and services, regardless of how much you earn, where you are, or what time it is? Investors and people have been losing purchasing power. The global debt today is close to $300 trillion, which is 4 times what we collectively earn as a species. Our natural resources provided by Mother Earth need to be extracted more responsibly, with a fair share for the people in the mines in local regions. We believe in a world where individuals and communities can have universal access to opportunities enabled by financial freedom and interconnected humanity. Ubuntu means I am because we are. We are a passionate team of highly skilled professionals coming from all corners of the world, committed to address some of the most pressing financial issues of our society today. We tap into some of the most advanced technologies available to mankind to improve people's life, share prosperity, and heal the planet. Our executive team has a combined experience of more than 85 years in gold trading and mining, more than 100 years in IT, fintech, and advanced technologies, and more than 60 years in global capital markets and global finance. Our investors are protected. Our digital asset will be fully regulated as we file with SEC and other reputable financial regulators around the world. Your gold is extracted according to international standards. It is safe, insured, refined, audited, and stored with some of the most secured vaults around the world. Our track and trace technology allows you to monitor your gold from ground to vault with your mobile phone from anywhere at any time. Our digital marketplace technology allows investors and customers to trade our regulated digital assets, exchange goods and services. We offer you the freedom to use and move your wealth freely. Our business model is strong because we have diverse revenue streams. We source gold from miners at a discounted price. We tokenize and digitize gold for third parties for a fee, and we generate transaction fees from our digital marketplace. Over the past couple of years, we've received a series of awards and accolades from the global investors community or the tech community. We are now building partnerships with global institutions and multilaterals that will give us access to a market exceeding 500 million potential customers in the next 18 months. Sustainability is a priority in our agenda as we source gold responsibly at a fair price and redistribute a percentage of our transaction fees margins to the mining communities for them to build schools and hospitals and escape the poverty trap. Our security token offering will provide you with 2 tokens, Godol, which is 100% backed by gold, and Zinuru. Zinuru is a tokenized convertible note providing a yield exceeding 10% per annum, and that could be convertible into shares at a later stage. For every dollar that you will invest in Zinuru, 60% of the funds will be allocated to purchase physical gold and build gold inventory for the company. Therefore, you're not investing in your typical startup. You're actually investing in a company that is building real hard assets, that is gold, and that is also very liquid. In addition, thanks to our digital marketplace ecosystem and the transaction fees generated and the adoption by customers, we have the growth potential of a unicorn. In this time of global economic uncertainty, we invite you to protect your wealth or to create wealth. Gold, over the past 20 years, has gained 500%. Last year alone, it has gained more than 40%. And over the past 40 years, it has gained 5,000%. Our digital marketplace offers gold for all, but also trading, exchanging goods, services, ideas at global scale so that together we rise. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here today at this Africa Blockchain Summit, which is the first of its kind and long-awaited event that gathers all the key players and decision makers that could help the blockchain industry take off in Africa. It's also an honor to do this keynote speech. How can natural resources and blockchain help Africa leapfrog? This is the real question that we're addressing today. It's important to understand the rationale of blockchain, and in particular, when it comes to tokenizing asset. The first conclusion I drew, while I was in Africa on those different trips and engaging with family, friends back home, was the fact that all our currencies kept on depreciating and we've been losing significant purchasing power. And at the same time, we're sitting on 45% of the global gold deposit, 80% of the platinum, 60 to 70% of the reserves of diamonds, etc. So how do you address this issue of being technically poor, but being potentially extremely wealthy as a continent? That's where blockchain comes into place, because it's the first of its kind where you have an opportunity to tokenize asset. And if you take the example of gold, for instance, right, it's accepted everywhere in the world, versus our currencies in Africa that struggle to go beyond our borders in terms of acceptance. So the point was, okay, why don't we tokenize gold and make it a medium of exchange and a currency that we could effectively transact with? It would help, of course, access the global economy, because gold has always been accepted regardless of civilizations and so on. But you can, when you think of diamonds, for instance, it's very much of a precious stone that is also accepted everywhere, and that you could effectively tokenize in a way that you distribute potential ownership and then start creating wealth out of it. The key importance of tokenizing natural resources is to recreate a balance where real assets have real value to create wealth. What do I mean by that? So at the end of the day, when you look at the global trade, one key issue is how do you monetize your natural resources? Of course, you're going to need to raise capital to be able to extract it and so on. But what if you use blockchain decentralized finance to effectively crowdfund the exploitation and the extraction of your resources and use the transparency abilities that blockchain provides to be able to track your goods from ground to vault or from ground to factory. This way you provide not only a transparency model, but you can also bring different type of investors, and in particular local investors, together with international investors to participate to your economy. Decentralized finance offers that, right? So what is very important is also to understand that how has the banking system been functioning so far? If you look at the sources of capitalism, it always starts with an asset, right? You need a collateral. Based on that collateral, you can then borrow money. And based on the funds that you collect and raise, should you have a default, then you have that collateral. And it's generally land, asset, or things like that. Now, if you can tokenize those assets, then you also give the possibility for the people at the lower bracket of the income pyramid to start participating. And that's what we do with Ubuntu Tribe, where we start with gold and make it available. We democratize access to gold so that people can effectively own gold from as low as 5 cents just by using their mobile phone. And that's of course a game changer, because gold has gained 500% over the past 20 years. Now, when it comes to the African nations, now you have a means of a medium of exchange. And when you look also at the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement, Africa now has the largest free trade area in the world, right? For 1.3 billion people gathering 50 something countries. Now, the one thing also is how are those countries going to be engaging and trading with one another, right? So with all those currencies, etc., it makes it complicated. You could potentially use digital gold to be able to do your cross-border trade. And why not digital platinum or digital cobalt, etc., as medium of exchange and as a way to kind of create wealth. Now, where it also becomes very interesting for nations, not only in Africa, but in other emerging markets, that it creates a level playing field where you tap into resources which value rise over time versus your currency, which value can be highly depreciated, like we've seen in most of our countries. So we strongly encourage the principle of tokenizing natural resources as a means to wealth creation. The other, of course, key driver of that model is the ability to also provide a stronger transparency, right? So when you look at the blockchain industry, you can definitely help also track where the funds go, how they're managed, etc. In a way that gives more comfort not only to the population but to the global investors community. The very critical point in a context where, yes, you would say Bitcoin is of course of great value. It happens to also be a bit volatile, which sometimes does not give comfort to people to use it as a medium of exchange if you lose 30% overnight, etc. While things like gold or actual physical assets, and in particular mineral resources, provide a lower volatility and can also be redeemed in concrete assets, right? So that you can trade. That's the key advantage using physical actually assets and resources in a way that you have the usability, because people will still need silver, they will still need diamond, and if you've tokenized it, you at least can always redeem and have the actual mineral that you can always sell if you want or keep as a real value versus an actual digital currency that is not correlated to any particular principle, which is also an important thing where should your system be hacked, at the end of the day, the gold or the silver is still available, and it's harder to effectively, hack your wallet and get the physical gold. They'll have to effectively go and take that physical gold, which is another layer of comfort for the investment community and so on. Of course, where it becomes very interesting is when you think of remittances. Africa has last year probably $50 billion remittance. Now with blockchain, what becomes very interesting, if you send, let's say, digital gold, which our gold-backed token is called Godel. Let's say you send Godel to your family back home. Where it becomes interesting is that because you use smart contracts, you can then program what that tokenized gold, what that digital gold can be used for. And then you can list a series of shops, for instance, where they can use it, and then keep another portion that stays as a savings and then rise with the value of gold. In this way, you can really remain in control of the funds that you send, and also enable people to use it wisely in a way that benefits them and their community. The very critical aspect of this tokenization program, I don't know if you remember the movie Black Panther. I'm sure many of you have watched that movie, right? And they were talking about that particular mineral that was called vibranium. That was a source of high technology and allowed that kingdom to flourish. I think with the combination of blockchain, artificial intelligence, and the wise usage of our natural resources, Africa has a unique opportunity today to create its own vibranium through different digital, tokenized natural resources and mineral resources. So when you think of cobalt, tantalum, which are very demanded in the aerospace, or even when you think of lithium, which is used on those batteries for Tesla and all those electric vehicles, it's a very rare opportunity at the turn of history, where combining our natural gifts as a land with technology can really help the African continent get back on track and accelerate its development, right? So this is really a very important point that we invite all decision makers and also participants in the blockchain industry to look very carefully, because at the end of the day, you always have to go back to something tangible, an asset that you can measure, because no matter how virtual the world we live in, we still need the raw materials and the key essential mineral resources to build that world that even produce that virtual world. So let's never forget that. And I think also where it becomes very interesting is a way for people to escape poverty, of course, right? So when you start having this kind of model, then you can combine agriculture and mining. For instance, what we've done with our technology digital marketplace for artisanal miners to be able to sell their gold, but then you can double the household income in those mining areas by also allowing women and farmers to participate into this digital marketplace and to sell their goods, through a digital marketplace where they could effectively use blockchain technology for transparency, for traceability of their goods, and then create another income. So in a context where Africa has 60% of the world arable land, then that could be a very powerful combination where we tap into, again, the wealth of our soil to really create wealth, also reduce the number of intermediaries and get direct access to market for those key people who are the engine of our economy. So on those words, I want to thank you all for your kind attention, and look forward to seeing you very soon and working with all of you in order to help transform our dear motherland, and together we rise. Ubuntu tribe. Ubuntu. I am because we are. Thank you.